On January 1, 1973, the Nigerian Naira was introduced. The new currency replaced the Nigerian pound with an exchange rate of 2 naira to 1 pound in the United Kingdom and 1 naira to 60 cents in the United States of America. However, as of today, 1 pound exchanges for 547 naira 59 kobo, while $1 exchanges for 415 naira 84 kobo at the interbank. These rates are much higher in the black market. It was Chief Obafemi Awolowo who, as Nigeria's Federal Commissioner of Finance, coined the name Naira by collapsing the word Nigeria and Kobo, a corruption of the word copper, because coins were then made of copper. Awolowo's portrait adorns the 100 Naira notes. In this video, we shall take a look at the history and evolution of the Nigerian Naira. Before Nigeria was colonized by the British, the means of exchange were cowries, beads, bottles, farm produce, and so on. Shillings and pence were introduced as the legal tender currency in British West Africa in 1880. The unit of coins managed by the Bank of England was 1 shilling, 1 penny, half penny, and 1/10 penny, which were distributed by the Bank for British West Africa until 1912. The West African Currency Board (WACB) issued the first set of banknotes and coins in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia from 1912 to 1959, with 1 pound being the highest banknote denomination and 1 shilling being the highest coin denomination. However, on July 1, 1959, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) began issuing Nigerian currency banknotes, and the WACB issued banknotes and coins were phased out. This continued until July 1, 1962, when the currency was changed to reflect the country's republic status and the banknotes had Federal Republic of Nigeria inscribed at the top from the previous inscription of Federation of Nigeria. The notes were changed again following the misuse of the banknotes during the Nigerian Civil War. Before the government decided to change from metric to decimal, of which Nigeria was the last former British colony to do so, the name of the Nigerian currency was changed on January 1, 1973. The major unit of currency, which used to be 1 pound, ceased to exist, and the 1 naira, which was equal to 10 shillings, became the major unit, while the kobo became the minor unit, 100 kobo making 1 naira. As earlier stated, the name Naira was coined from the word Nigeria by the then Federal Commissioner of Finance, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, while kobo is born from the English word copper, because coins were then made of copper. Subsequently, on February 11, 1977, a new banknote 20 naira was issued. This was the highest denomination at that time, and it was introduced as a result of the economic growth and the need for cash transactions. The 20 naira was also the first banknote to have the portrait of a prominent Nigerian citizen on it, the murdered head of state, General Murtala Ramat Mohammed. The 20 naira note was issued on the first anniversary of his assassination as a tribute to him, and was declared a national hero on October 1, 1978. Interestingly, the 20 naira note remains the only naira note to have a portrait of a military man. The rest of the naira notes bear the portraits of civilians. Thereafter, new currency banknotes of 3 denominations, 1 naira, 5 naira, and 10 naira, were introduced on July 2, 1979. They were of the same size as the 20 naira notes. To differentiate the denominations, different colors were used to identify them. These new notes also bore the portraits of prominent men. The 1 Naira note featured Nigerian politician Herbert Macaulay. The 5 Naira note has Nigeria's first and only Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa's portrait on it, and the 10 Naira note bears the portrait of Nigerian statesman Alvan Ikoku. They were all declared national heroes on October 1, 1978. For easy identification, different colors were used for the various denominations. Also, distinct cultural aspects of the country were engraved at the back of the notes. However, in April 1984, during the regime of Major General Muhammadu Buhari, all but one of the colors of the banknotes were changed, the 50 kobo, to curb currency trafficking, which was rampant at the time, and in 1991, the 50 kobo and 1 Naira were changed to coins. Due to the expansion in economic activities and to create an efficient payment system, the 100 Naira in December 1999, the 200 Naira in November 2000, the 500 Naira in April 2001, and the 1000 Naira in October 2005 were introduced as banknotes. As part of economic reforms, on February 28, 2007, the 20 Naira banknote was issued for the first time in a polymer substrate, which is more durable than paper by not becoming soaked in liquids and is harder to counterfeit, though not impossible. Also, the 50 Naira, 10 Naira, and 5 Naira banknotes, as well as the 1 Naira and 50 kobo coins, were reissued in new designs along with the introduction of the 2 Naira coin. Following the successful performance of the 20 Naira banknotes, 50 Naira, 10 Naira, and 5 Naira were converted to polymer substrates on September 30, 2009. As part of its contribution towards Nigeria's 50th anniversary independence celebration and the country's 100 years of being in existence, the CBN issued a 50 Naira commemorative polymer substrate banknote on September 29, 2010, and the 100 Naira commemorative banknotes on December 19, 2014, respectively. Nigeria's monetary system mirrors our history, colonization, struggle, and strength. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It also represents the face, people, and culture of the nation. More than being a legal tender, the Naira is a bridge builder between local and foreign borderlines in terms of local and international trade. This means that the Naira banknotes were not designed as an afterthought, but had a clear vision and mission of bridging the gap across cultures and uniting the nation. For instance, the 50 Naira banknote is also known as the Wazobia note. It portrays the 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, saying "come" in their respective languages. Not forgetting that all the banknotes either have the portraits of different notable figures in Nigeria or some aspects of the country's culture portrayed on them, which goes a long way to show that the Naira seeks to bring the different tribes under one umbrella. With this currency, the Nigerian people all speak the same language, and the Naira can be said to be an essential symbol of the country's nationalism and pride. "40 years ago, one could get less than 6.1 million Naira in exchange for $10 million. Then, a dollar was equivalent to 61 kobo. The same cannot be said 4 decades after, as the Naira has lost 99.8% of its value against the dollar, going by how 4.1 billion Naira now exchanges for $10 million. The Naira has witnessed dozens of devaluations, most of which were implemented for the purpose of achieving fair value for the currency. In March 2020, the Central Bank of Nigeria adjusted the official rate from 307 Naira to the dollar to 360 Naira. The exchange rate was reduced to 380 Naira to the dollar later that year. That rate held out until 2021 when the CBN's official rate was replaced with investors and exporters window rate, which is a creation of the currency crisis itself. From the 1980s to this day, the CBN has experimented with all known currency management approaches while the Naira kept wobbling against its peers, even within Africa. The re-evaluation was contemplated by the Apex Bank under Professor Charles Soludo's tenure as the governor, which was a proposal meant to strike out two zeros from a denomination and revert the currency to its glorious days. For instance, a 500 Naira banknote was said to be revalued as 5 Naira, but political intrigues trailed its implementation. Now, let us look at some of the factors that have crippled the Naira. Many Nigerians have traced the historical downturn of the Naira to the ill-conceived infamous Structural Adjustment Policy (SAP), which is a set of economic reforms that a country must adhere to in order to secure a loan from the International Monetary Fund (IMF) or the World Bank. Such adjustments could include reducing government spending, opening to free trade, currency devaluation, and so on. It can provide the political will to take necessary and difficult steps to deal with an economic crisis and provide a framework for long-term growth and stability. Unfortunately, the Naira indeed jumped from 89 kobo to a dollar in 1985 to 4 Naira to the dollar in the latter days of the SAP, and as typical of the IMF and World Bank, certain conditions were demanded, among which was the adjustment of the exchange rate to approve facilities for Nigeria. Since then, the Naira has been on a roller coaster with several liquidity crises in between, and each year witnessing a call for devaluation. Still, the Naira is considered overpriced. Truth be told, the strength of a currency is determined by the international relationship among certain factors like demand and supply, the volume of exports compared to imports and performance, and the competitiveness of the domestic economy. Although a stronger currency doesn't produce a stronger economy will always produce a stronger currency. This goes without saying that a weaker currency is better for an economy that wants to be competitive in the international market. However, the Naira has lost about 99% of its value against the dollar in the last 40 years, and there are other entrenched challenges such as insecurity, poor local input sourcing, logistics challenges, and so on that a weaker Naira cannot address. Ever since the Bretton Woods settlement of 1944, the world's reserve currency has been the dollar, and in 1973, the United States Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, in exchange for American military protection, reached an agreement with the House of Saud to make the dollar have a sole monopoly as the currency for international oil trading. The value of Nigeria's currency is shaped by several factors, one of which is inflation. In the words of American economist Murray Rothbard, inflation not only raises prices and destroys the value of the currency unit, but it also acts as a giant system of expropriation. Inflation weakens the currency against those of its competitors. Another factor that has shaped the Naira is the total number of international trade transactions, that is, imports, exports, and debts, which stands for the current account balance of the country. A positive account balance strengthens the exchange rate, while a negative one weakens it. Third, Nigeria's current debt, which stands at 38 trillion Naira as of 2022, has put the Naira in a bad shape. The next factor is the ratio of export prices to import prices, which, if the prices of Nigerian exports are rising faster than those of its imports, the Naira would be strengthened. The reverse has been the case because while oil prices keep heading south, prices of industrial manufactures have been heading north. Last of all, Nigeria has experienced two major recessions in 5 years. The first, from 2015 to 2017, was triggered by a fall in oil prices, and the second, 2019 to 2020, was due to the coronavirus pandemic. These events grossly crippled the Naira. Technically, there are so many factors that can be attributed to the present crippled state of the Naira, such as political instability and visionless leadership, dollarization, poor monetary policies, currency speculation, and so on. Nigeria's currency relationship with other foreign currencies has been erratic, unpredictable, and heartbreaking. Now, let us take a look at how the Naira has fared since its introduction. In the 1970s and early 1980s, the Naira exchanged at a rate of 90 kobo to $1. Nigeria's head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, then introduced second-tier foreign exchange market (SFEM) as part of a package of IMF reforms. But by the time his inglorious regime ended on August 26, 1993, the Naira was exchanging for 17 Naira to $1. It was during this time that the now popular Bureau de Change was introduced. Throughout General Sani Abacha's military regime from 1993 to 1998, the official exchange rate of the Naira to the dollar was stable at 22 Naira to $1, but the market rate was 88 Naira to $1. The CBN introduced the Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market (AFEM) in 1995 in order to sell forex to end users at market rates. A lot of banking fortunes were made from this arbitrage. When Joseph Sanusi became the CBN governor in 1999, he introduced the Interbank Foreign Exchange Market (IFEM). At this time, Nigeria's reserves had been severely depleted 2 years before he became governor, and it was incumbent on him to rescue the Naira. The Naira started trading at 85 Naira within a year, and the gap between the official rate and the market rate had reduced considerably to 105 Naira to the dollar compared to how it was under Abacha. Sanusi later suspended the IFEM for 6 months when the Naira came under pressure, and he introduced a limit to the margin which was above CBN's rate that banks could sell their own forex for. The same is being done by the current CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. Previously, Nigeria had been struggling to service its $33 billion foreign debts and also had low oil prices to contend with, but as oil prices rose, the country acquired $18 billion debt relief from the Paris Club, and forex round-tripping games blossomed. New generation banks sprouted on a daily basis and set up foreign entities to help their clients move money abroad. In 2004, rising oil prices increased Nigeria's foreign reserves and also the excess crude accounts. The CBN governor, Charles Chukwuma Soludo, was able to harmonize the 4 different rates at the time, which were the CBN, Interbank, Bureau de Change, and wire rates. This converged the rates to within 1 Naira to each other. Nigeria was overflowing with dollars. Also, during this period, the Naira was strengthened against the dollar by about 20% without anyone's efforts. Unfortunately, oil prices started to drop, but Nigeria luckily had her reserves. Despite this, Soludo created an artificial scarcity of forex to allow a devaluation of the Naira and also banned the interbank market for 6 months. His successor, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, in 2009, then restored the interbank market that Soludo had banned due to the rise in oil prices, but faced stagnancy in Nigeria's reserves due to scarcity of dollars to defend the Naira. His solution to the problem was to remove the 1-year restriction of foreign investors who wanted to buy government bonds. This move saw Nigeria being included in JP Morgan's index. Oil prices remained high during Sanusi's tenure, and the Naira experienced stability somewhat starting at 148 naira to the dollar at the start of its tenure in 2009 and 164 naira to the dollar in 2014 when it was suspended. Sanusi remains the only CBN governor to have been suspended by then President Goodluck Jonathan. In today's economy, revenues have dropped much more than the oil prices. Nigeria's overdependence on oil is slowly killing the economy. What is even worse is Nigeria did not save during the oil boom, and their reserves are probably less than the declared $30 billion. Current CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele has banned the interbank forex market and some items from being eligible for forex. CBN now rations forex and decides who gets what. On Monday, October 25, 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari launched the e-Naira, a digital currency produced by the Central Bank of Nigeria that provides a unique type of money denominated in Naira. As opposed to cash payments, the e-Naira acts as both a means of exchange and a store of value, providing better payment prospects in retail transactions. The e-Naira, according to the Apex Bank, also has a unique operational structure that sets it apart from other forms of central bank money.